A changing at guard is not necessary for Ohio State, but maybe there will be a need at tackle. Welcome to Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana. Ohio State at Purdue this afternoon in gray Ross-Ade Stadium.
It's just in West Lafayette. It is gray. It is dry at the moment. No wind. It feels pretty nice out here. It's like 48, 49 degrees as we sit here with 3 hours before kickoff, but certainly looks and feels like Purdue. And that's the first place that we always go when we get here. It's like, you drive in, it's beautiful, it's sunny everywhere else, and then you descend on West Lafayette, and it's just this gray cloud, but it makes for great photos. It makes for a nice, easy day on the eyeball, so I'm not going to complain.
Well, the weather's not important. I mean, it is November.
It's so important!
November in the Big Ten. This is what you're going to get. Welcome to the Pregame Keys. He's Jeremy Birmingham. I am Austin Ward for 97.1 The Fan, 10 TV, 10 TV Plus. And so let's get right to it. Both the starting guards, Tegra Shabola and Luke Montgomery, are good to go for Ohio State. Josh Padilla, who had been working in and pushing for more reps at right guard, is officially out from Ohio State. And that's not even the real news, because if they were full steam ahead, as Ryan Day said, at guard on Tuesday of this week, that bore itself out in the preparation for this trip to Purdue. But starting right tackle, Philip Daniels is questionable. Will be a game time decision, and those tend to go one way more than the other, Birm.
And because of the right guard situation, it does change things around a little bit. If the Buckeyes want to continue to rotate Tegra Shabola, you can't rotate him with Josh Padilla today. And then if Ethan Anianwa is playing right tackle, you can't really rotate him with Ethan Anianwa at guard. So it is going to be interesting to me to see if Philip Daniels can't go, does Ohio State rotate right tackle as well and give Ian Moore some opportunities, which he's been waiting for 2 years. So it does open up some interesting conversation. The more likely scenario, I think, is that they just won't rotate at guard today. You're playing a Purdue team that you should be able to handle up front. But Purdue gets after it. They've got 25 quarterback sacks on the season. They can do
53 tackles for loss.
They can do some things defensively to try to confuse an offensive line. That's all they can really do. So we'll see how that goes for the guards, and then whatever ends up happening at right tackle.
Yeah, so there's an interesting, new group that we have to consider, because Ian Moore has been somebody who has stepped in at tackle when that need has emerged, or if it's been late in games. So between Ian Moore and Ethan Anianwa, you'd think someone may have to step in for Philip Daniels there. And Gabe Van Sickle, Ryan Day said on Wednesday night, sort of confirming what we had already seen, that he was the fourth guard and the next guy potentially in line there for Ohio State. So that's key. As you said, if there's something that Purdue can do to actually pose some threat to Ohio State, it would be with their front, it would be with their defense. There's a ton of conversation from Ryan Day about how much he respects Barry Odom and how tough that team plays. They created some issues for Michigan a week ago, but all that's had Ohio State's attention, and they've had in the entire week, understanding that there were going to be limitations for their offensive line in some form or fashion.
Yeah, and again, last week we watched Luke Montgomery come off the field, Tegra Shabola come off the field, Josh Padilla come off the field. In the event something else happens today, you got to be prepared. Ohio State will certainly be ready no matter what. Purdue gave Michigan some struggles on the offensive side of the ball for the Wolverines. Not really with the Purdue offense threatening Michigan. But it will be interesting to see if Ohio State takes that Michigan playbook and decides to just run the ball. It feels like the type of day where you look around and you go, let's run. It looks like typical Big Ten November football, but feels like nice enough to see a lot of Julian Sand today. So I'm going to be interested to see how the Buckeyes balance that out. You want to protect him, but if you have this offensive line that's got some mix and match parts, maybe you lean into the run a little bit more.
Well, also you're talking about the 17th ranked big rush defense in the Big Ten. Like Purdue,
how many teams are there in the Big Ten?
There's 18. They are not good. They're one of the worst rush defenses in the country. So there's certainly an opportunity that you would think Ohio State would be trying to exploit that, but is it just easier now today? Because I spent all week saying if there was something I would take out of it, this might be the particular week where I'm looking and monitoring that progress with an eye at the end of the month for Ohio State with the run game, whether that's Bo Jackson, whether that's Isaiah West, CJ Donaldson, James Peoples, anybody. But now it's like, maybe it would just be easier to pass protect and let Julian Sand throw it to Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, and especially because the weather's going to allow for it. For all the things that we might joke about here, these are optimal conditions if you're going to come play in Ross-Ade Stadium.
Yeah, and I don't know what's easier for a makeshift offensive line. Is it run blocking? Is it pass pro? It's obviously maybe dependent on the individual person in charge or the individual person being tasked with replacing a starter. But I think that when you have the receivers Ohio State has, Max Clare available, Bennett Christian, Will Kesmerick, Brandon Ennis, and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, you can do a lot of things. So I think for Ohio State, it's just come out and make sure that they don't spend too much time worrying about the offensive line alignment and just do the things that you do best.
All right, anything on defense that has your attention?
I mean, ultimately, Purdue, it's going to be a scramble drill. It's going to be Ryan Brown. It's going to be Malachi Singleton trying to create some things with their legs. This is a game for Ohio State where they can really get after the quarterback, and I'm expecting them to really do that. But from all over the field, I think this is a big day for Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson, and Arvell Reese coming off the edge. And I like Ryan Brown, but he's not going to be ready for what Ohio State is going to do to him today. So it's really just like get everyone out of here healthy type of day.
Do you think? So we know we talked about Max Clare, and you made the bold predictions on Friday that he'll score 3 touchdowns in his return to Purdue. It's a little bit easier to scheme up those opportunities on offense. Do you think maybe Matt Patricia could all right, well, Kenyatta's had these opportunities to rush the pass for the last couple weeks. Caden Curry, it's your homecoming. It's your last opportunity to play in the state of Indiana. Maybe you get to do that today.
Well, let's hope it's not his last opportunity to play in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
But
regular season opportunity.
It is his last regular season day. As I said
Good
Wednesday,
catch.
Caden said he'll have 30 to 40 family members here. I think Ohio State, as we talked about with Max Clare, they find a way to scheme this stuff up. Caden Curry, all the moving around, all he does. This Purdue offensive line is pretty bad for all things. And we don't know how loud that music is, so we're just screaming. It seems like it's getting louder, but that's what
the speaker is also busted. I don't know what's happening.
That's what we deal with on the pregame keys. But I do think there's a way for Caden Curry to be schemed up to do some stuff, whether that's him moving around, whether that's him doing a little bit more from a stand-up pass rush role where he can really just get cut loose. I think, again, this is a day for Ryan Brown and the Purdue passing attack. I think they're going to take shots. I think they're going to be the first team all year to really try to push the ball down the field. Their receivers are not particularly great, but they've got 2 pretty decent transfers, Michael Jackson and Nitro Tuggle at wide receiver. I think this is Ohio State on an island with your corners. You go get the quarterback, and Purdue takes a couple shots downfield. So it
doesn't seem like that'd be a good idea.
I don't think it would be. But I also don't know what other option they're going to have because they're not going to just run the ball against Ohio State and win that way. So unless they come out and do triple option stuff or something crazy, I don't know what Purdue can really do other than push Ohio State down the field and do something that nobody's tried to do against them all year.
Yeah, be aggressive. And I wonder if both teams would be content to make this a fast clock running game and just get out of it, because Purdue doesn't have the talent to match up on either side of the football. They're 29.5 point underdogs in this game at home. I know that they fought hard. You've certainly praised them for what they did last week against Michigan, and it was hard to deny that. They got into that game into the fourth quarter, but you're not doing your program any favors if you try and actually spring that upset by throwing punches at Ohio State. I know that sounds insulting, and I only half mean it that way. But especially with Ohio State now dealing with some key injury concerns and with what they're trying to do down the stretch here, I wonder if that Ryan Day will say, you know what, this isn't going to be a stat padding game. It's going to be in and out. And Purdue might say that's a good idea to us too.
I don't know. If you're in year 1 of a new head coach and you're Barry Odom and you've got recruits coming in from Indiana and Illinois and this is your Super Bowl like every year. I mean, they do play Indiana here in a few weeks, so that'll be another big game for them. I think you're better off going out and saying to recruits, we did everything we could. Sure, we lost by 35. We did everything we could.
Yeah.
If you say, well, we just tried to end the game when it started, I just feel like that's if you're trying to build a program, you're in year 1 as a head coach. I don't think that's the tack you take. I think you come out and you throw shots, and if you end up getting beat 56-0, who cares? No one expects anything else. So
that's a tougher sell to me.
I think aggression and telling those recruits, look, we're gonna go as hard as we can at everybody. Maybe it's not going to work out, but we're going to take shots. I think that's what they're going to do today. That's what I would do. Not that Barry Odom asked me, but if I was in charge of this program trying to build something, I would say, hey, we have to be aggressive, because an hour away from here, their biggest rival is doing that every single week, being as aggressive as possible. And I think, obviously, Purdue does not have the financial resources that Indiana does right now, or the football team, or any of that stuff. But if you want to get there, that's what you have to do.
All right, so we'll find out soon enough in here at Ross-Ade Stadium. It is a nice day. There are plenty of tickets available as well if you're close enough. Swing on through. If not, BTN is the broadcast. 1 p.m. start time. Can't wait to break it all down when it's over. Right here with some snap judgments on the Austin and Birm Show, and of course the Notebook as always. Look forward to it way more when it's on the road. So much fun. We'll get to all that when we get to that. Enjoy the game. Thanks for joining us on the Pregame Keys. He's Birm. I'm Austin. So long, folks.